I'm Dave. DK Metalworks is my company, and I've been an auto body technician for 46 years. And throughout my career, I came up with several unique tools. I have a couple companies that have backed me on my tools. You can only get these tools through them or through their vendors. Today I'm going to show you the Polyvance bumper stabilizer. But first I'm going to show you a couple of tools that they already have that's going to go along with the stabilizer. Okay, so today I'm going to show you these tools that Polyvance already has, and they're going to go along with the bumper stabilizer. They all work together. The first one I'm going to show you is the Polyvance Bumper Bag Plus. Today we're only going to do the bumper bag part. The Plus part, if you go on Polyvance's website, look at the videos, this bag does a lot of different things. The pliers are to repair your tabs when they're ripped on your bumpers. It comes in a set of 4. You have 7 sets of dies. It's to do different type of rectangular slots in the bumper and countersunk holes for your screws. These are Polyvance rollers, or bumper rollers we came out with last year in 2018. We took these to the SEMA show and we won this award. Very proud to have this award given to us by SEMA. It means a lot. I've chosen Polyvance to work with my products because all they do is specialize in bumper repairs. They don't sell MIG welders, wrenches, sockets. Their main thing is just plastic repairs, and they have reps that go all over the United States. So if you ever need anybody to come to your shop, give Polyvance a call. They'll be happy to send a rep to your shop and show you their products. Again, all they do is plastic repairs. They know everything about plastic. Now I'm going to show you the assembly of the bumper stabilizer. Okay, so this is the Polyvance bumper stabilizer kit. What this kit's going to do is going to allow you to be more productive. You're not going to be dropping bumpers on the ground and have to make that walk up to the office and tell the estimator, I scratched the bumper. First thing the estimator's head is, I got to call the customer. He's not going to get his car today. The shop owner is saying there goes another $150 of material. Then the insurance company gets another day cycle time and another day rental. We're going to avoid all that with this rack. What the rack consists of is you have 2 mounting brackets like this. You have your 2 vertical bars. These are your 2 horizontal overhead bars. And this is your slider bar that goes together. These are your slides. You get 6 of these slides and 6 T-bolts. And you get 6 bungee cords, 2 48-inch, 2 24-inch, and 2 10-inch. Now on the bungee cord, one end has a spring-loaded clevis, which is going to attach to your bumper. This end's going to attach to the sliders on the bar, and this is your hook. It's an adjustable bungee. You pull it down like this, and that locks it into place. Now I'm going to show you the assembly. When you assemble this, you're just going to use your basic bumper rack. Everybody has one in the shop. So we're going to show the assembly now. And the kit comes with all the hardware you need to assemble it. It comes with 2 U-bolts, your self-tapping screws, your bolts for your upper bar, and your bolt for your center bar. These are all American thread. They're 5/16 and 1/4 inch if you ever need to replace one. So these are your main mounting bars. The way they're going to hook up to your rack, you're going to take this bolt out. This bar here is going to slide inside here. You're going to put the bolt back in with this inside here. This one's going to be on the outside like this. You're going to put that bolt in, then you're going to take your U-bolt. You're going to bring your U-bolt and you're going to bring it in here and secure the mounting bar to the rack this way. Once the bars are mounted, then you will take your upright bar, and each bar has a pre-drilled hole in it. And all you're going to do, you're just going to slip it on here, take your self-tapping screw, put it in. That's all you need to secure. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. It's already pretty secure the way it slides in. The same with the top. The top's going to do the same thing. It's going to go in. It's going to fit in like this. And if it's a little tight, you might need to take a hammer, knock it in. Here you have your pre-drilled screw hole. Put your self-tapping screw. Now you've got it all built, you just need to put your upper bar in. Okay, so your upper bar, you put one side in first, with the hole facing upward in this direction. Now when you have it on there, don't forget to put your slide on. So these are your slides, and you're going to put your slide on with the T-bolt facing forward in this direction. Now you're going to put your other upper bar in. When you do so, you're going to make sure you put your slide on it just like you did this side. Now with them in, you're going to slide them together and connect them. Once they're connected, go ahead and put the bolt in. And tighten it up. Now once you have this in, now you're ready to put all your slides in. Now with the rack completely assembled, you'll see the rack is part of the bumper stand. It's very, very sturdy. It's not going to flip over unless something really hard hits it or you're really on an extremely windy day outside. Now your bungees are going to hook in these areas here. They're going to go through your slides like so. The short ones go on the ends. The medium ones go on the inner part or in here. The long ones go in the center. Now if you're doing a repair and you don't need all these here, you simply can just take them and hang them back here and get them out of your way. This is just a good place to store them when you're not using them. Now to start doing a bumper repair, we're going to use the Polyvance Bumper Mate 2. We're going to set that on here and we're going to show you how we're going to start using this. So we're going to use the Polyvance Bumper Mate 2 with this. We're going to set it up here on our rack. And now the repairs I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to want these openings. These are for like when you're repairing headlights and plastic parts so you can clamp them on here. I'm going to want this more solid, so I'm going to use this for the foundation of the rack. I'm going to put like a hard piece of cardboard over it with a moving blanket to protect the finish on my bumpers. So years ago, this was your basic bumper. There really wasn't anything you needed to put on it, not even a step pad. It was part of the bumper. You maybe had mud flaps, so that was about it. That's not the case today. Some of these bumpers have several parts, and as you well know, they're very flimsy, very awkward, very hard to assemble. This is an example of a couple of the bumpers. Okay, so these bumpers here, these are both damaged bumpers, but I just want to show you when you are repairing a vehicle and you have to change and put a new bumper on, and you have to R&I all these different parts, it's extremely hard to get these on without scratching the bumper when you're using just your basic bumper rack. These bumpers are extremely flimsy, they have a mind of their own, and before you know it, you've scratched it or you've dropped it. And so this upper molding on this bumper, it's extremely hard to get it to snap in. It'll want to snap in on the bottom, but then trying to get it in on the top, it's very difficult. But when you have it on the bumper stabilizer, you have full control of the bumper. You can strap it, pull what you need to, which direction, and hold it so you can be successful of putting this on without scratching the bumper. So this is another one of those bumpers that's extremely flimsy. It's so flimsy that you can actually damage the bumper when you're carrying it. And snapping the grill in, it's not an easy task. You have it on a rack, it wants to fold up and collapse. But when you have it on the bumper stabilizer, here again, you can strap it, hold it the way you need to hold it to put your parts on. And this is another bumper. It does have several pieces you need to snap on, and it's very easy to scratch. So this is your basic bumper rack. It's had a lot of wear and tear on it, but a lot of guys, this is what they're using. And when you're trying to assemble one of these bumpers, which is one of your basic SUV type of bumpers, here again, this is a one-piece top bumper. It has a lower valance and some other pieces, but is extremely flimsy. Very awkward. You try to hold it like this, no matter what you do. I've seen guys take bungee cords, strap it, put weights. You go grab a tool, next thing you know, the thing's flipped over like this and it's on the floor. You got a scratch bumper. That's where the bumper stabilizer comes in. You're not going to have this problem anymore. And also with bumpers that are a 3-piece bumper, like this one. Now this one here again is on an SUV, a late model SUV. Here again, it's extremely awkward. It wants to flex, twist all over the place. And then once you get one of these ends off, then you got a big problem because it wants to fly off the rack this way. It's just completely out of control. Even if you strap it, you put weights, you're just doomed for failure with this. But with the bumper stabilizer, it's so easy to do this, and I'm going to show you how it works right now. Okay, so we're going to start with this 3-piece SUV bumper, which is extremely awkward, but it's going to be real simple. And when you're not frustrated, I know myself, I work 100%. When I'm frustrated, I don't work as well, I'm not as profitable, and that's when I make mistakes. So the way this works, you're going to flip it over, get it up here, and you're going to start with your small bungee. And you're just going to go ahead and hook it through the hole on the bumper. Get it around and the clevis will lock. Now you can take your bungee, pull it up, tighten it. Now you can come to the other side. Take this bungee, and you're going to do the same thing. Take your clevis, you're going to stick it in this hole, bring it through, latch it. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be this hole. It can be any hole you can get it in. Just get it secured. Now bring your bungee up, tighten it. And once you get your bungees hooked on where you want them, always remember to tighten your T-bolts. And get them tight. You can get them tight. They're made to get them tight. Now with your T-bolts tight, it doesn't matter if there's wind blowing, somebody walks by, hits your bumper, it's not going to go on the floor. It's going to stay on the rack. Now comes the fun part where you can disassemble the bumper and you can do it with ease. You're not going to be fighting it. Something that I like using, I like always using a little bit of penetration oil. I like to spray it on the clips. It's going to make the clips come off a lot easier. There's a lot of dirt, gunk underneath the car. I even do it on the cars when I take the bumpers off. Any clips I can get to, I just spray just a little bit on there. It makes a huge difference. So I'm going to spray a little bit on each clip. Then I'm going to come in with my clip removing tool, and I'm going to go ahead and take my clips out. And see how easy that came out? You're not going to fight it once you put a little bit of penetrating oil on them. Take your long straps, bring them out here on the outside, and you're going to go ahead and hook those on your center, on your lower center part of your bumper, so it doesn't fall on the ground once you have it disconnected. It'll all be hooked up on the rack. And here again, don't forget to tighten your T-bolts. Make sure you got everything nice and tight. Hook this up. Go ahead, tighten your bungees. They're tight. Remove your clips. Now you have all your clips removed. Now you can remove your cover. There's not enough light here for me. There. Now once you got it disconnected, you can simply just hang it here in the air. It's not going to fall on the floor. Makes it extremely easy. Now if you didn't have these straps hooked up, this bumper would be flipping over and would be falling on the floor. So now, let's just say you're putting this car back together. You've already got this end on, you want to put this back on. You got it strapped up, you just hook this up, leave it hanging, you come up here, you sit it up here, you snap it on, put your clips in. It's that easy to assemble one of these bumpers, which is a nightmare without this system. Now you can successfully disassemble a bumper without dropping the lower garnish on the ground, scratching it if you're reusing it, scratching the ends, and assembling it is so much easier. Now we're going to go on to some of the other harder bumpers. This is another one of those bumpers that can be very challenging to put together. There's not much to the bumper. The only thing holding it is a small piece in the center. It's very easy to bend the center here. Once you bend it, the bumper is ruined. So when you're putting the grill in, it wants to flip all over. These ends want to kind of go everywhere on you. Now with the bumper stabilizer, here again, we're going to bring in our small bungees on the side, release it. We're going to bring it in. We're going to hook it. I'm going to loosen this one. Bring it down. I'm going to hook it. And now the bumper is off the table, so you might want to use a little longer bungee, which isn't a problem. So I'm going to go with a longer bungee on this one. So I'm going to go with my 24-inch bungee. I'm going to pull it up just to where the bumper is on the bottom here. Now that I have it hooked up, now I have control of the bumper. And now the bumper's a little bit off-centered this way, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to loosen this strap and slide. I'm going to pull it this way a little bit. And I'm just going to adjust my bumper. Now it's in the center of the rack. Now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to remove these just so they're out of my way. Sit them back here. Now I'm going to install the grill, which this is very hard to do if you don't have the bumper secured like this. Okay, so now when you're installing this grill into this bumper, it can be very difficult, but like I said, now you have the bumper, you have control of the bumper. You can do what you want with it. So now, getting this in to snap in is much easier. So you just bring it down like so, you get it on your snaps, and you snap it in. Now, without this rack, you're fighting this thing. It wants to go all over the place. It wants to fall off the rack. It does everything you don't want it to do. Now you can snap this together successfully without hurting the bumper. And here again, like I said, if you're not frustrated, you're working at 100%. When you're frustrated, you're not. And you just feel better. We're going to go on to one of the other difficult bumpers too, and then we're going to go into a repair situation. Okay, so this is a damaged bumper. Yeah, I wouldn't be putting this on a car, but I just want to show you in this demonstration. But even if the bumper wasn't damaged, this is what the bumper's like when you put it on a rack. I mean, it's impossible for one guy to put it together. The only way you can do it is you got to have two guys. You don't want to tie two guys up doing a one-man job. You have the bumper stabilizer, takes one guy. Here again, you take your slide, you bring it out, you go to your bumper end, you find a hole. Okay, I got to take this off. Here, let me just pop that out. Okay. So you come to your slide, you bring your slide out to the desired length you want it. You take your bungee, you come into one of the holes on the side of the bumper, you snap it. You come to the other side now, you do the same thing. Bring it in, snap it, and now you can use any hole on there. You can use this hole, whatever's easiest to get to, or how you want to move the bumper. Now you can already see how the bumper is already starting to take shape. With trying to put this molding on with that bumper laying like this, it's impossible, and it's very easy to scratch the bumper. Now you have control of the bumper. You can lift it, move it however you want. Okay, so now when you're installing this molding on this bumper, like I said before, when the bumper's just laying out like that, it's almost impossible to do it. It's very easy to scratch, and it's very easy to crack the molding. Now you can lift the ends up the way you need them, and you just simply take your molding, bring your bumper up, slide it underneath, get it where it belongs. And now you just can start snapping your molding into place where it goes. There's no tricks to this. It's just as easy as it looks. It just goes together because you have control of the bumper, and you can put it where you need to put it for these parts to fit on it. Now we're going to go on to the repairs. Okay, so to do a repair on a bumper like this, here again it's extremely awkward. You're going to want it up like this to do repairs on the inside to drive the damage out. It's not going to let you do it. It's just going to keep flipping over. So with the bumper stabilizer here again, you can grab it, hold it where you need it. A technique I want to share with you right now. It's very hard to see the damage on the back side of the bumper. So I came up with this idea where you have your damage, take a pair of vice grips like this, locate your damage, then come on the back side of your bumper, take a marker, and just mark your vice grips. Now you know where the damage is when you're going to repair your bumper. So I take the bumper, here again I flip it over, and I'm going to hook my straps on. It's going to be a little awkward at first, just trying to get it up here, but get one strap on and pull it up, tighten it. Get your other strap, get it on, pull it up and tighten it. Now you've got control of the bumper. So now that I have my damage marked on the inside of the bumper, I know where I'm going to be repairing. And I'm going to use my Polyvance Bumper Bag Plus to drive this dent out. So I'm going to put it right under here. And now with the bumper stabilized like this, I can sit here and I can concentrate on my repair. I'm not worried about the bumper falling off the rack. I can come in here, I can hammer my damage out, take the straps off, flip it over, do my sanding if I need to. I can redo this process. Same thing with the bumper rollers. You select which roller you're going to use, whatever the damage is. If it's a rounded area, you're going to use this. It's a nice arced area like this part of the bumper here. And when I use the rollers, if the damage is this big on the bumper, I heat this big. And I take about 5 minutes. I don't rush it. I just want the whole area to be so warm that when I touch the outside of the bumper with my hand, it's warm where I can't hold my hand on it. It'll burn my hand. And you don't want the plastic to start melting on the inside. You just want to get it warm where it's going to want to go back into shape. You take the roller. It takes a little effort the first time, but you can fix dents this big around, pushing this far with no problem. These rollers work really good. It's just a great way to save a bumper, and that's where your profit is. Don't let your profit go out the door. Okay, so now with the rollers, if you had a bumper like this where it's got damage in the body line, the crease of the bumper, I would heat the area up for at least 5 minutes, and if the damage is this big, go 2 or 3 inches beyond the size of the damage. And then you can use this roller. You're going to use this roller with a point, and you're going to come right in this body line. And here you're not going to be using the bumper bag. You're just going to have it flat on the, and they just roll and just push and roll that right in there. And it's going to roll that line right back out. That line's going to want to go back out to where it originally was. You're just working it back out. On big flat areas, you use the flat roller. You can roll here and just roll it out. Sometimes you might want to use the handle where you might want to push a little like this. These tools all go together. Okay, so now this bumper has a tear in it right here, and I'm going to show you how you can secure the bumper. You can pull this bumper together, get that tear back together to do your repair. So you're just going to set the rack up just like you had before. You're going to put your sides on, hook your bumper up, go ahead and just give them a little tight here. Now with this tear, you're going to want to pull the bumper in so you can get this to stay tight when you're doing it. So now you can take another bungee, come from here. Here you're going to use one of your longer bungees. Come in here. Go ahead and loosen it, get your length. Bring it in. Hook it in here. Now you can pull it in like this. Now with that pulled in like that, now you can get this tear lined back up. Usually when there's a tear, the plastic's distorted, it doesn't want to go back together. So now with these are the bungees here and here, you can pull this in how you need to get that tear back together to do your repair. Otherwise, you would just be fighting it, and the bumper, if you did a repair without this, the end of the bumper might be laying over too far this way. When you go to put it on the car, it's going to be sticking out, it's going to be in the wrong direction, and that's how you repaired it. It's going to stay that way. Now it's back where it wants to be for your repair to put the bumper the way it was before it was damaged. This is really fighting you where it's like this and you cannot get it with these. You can always take a pair of just C vice grips like this, clip it on here, take another bungee, hook it to your vice grips like this, and now you can pull that back in and get it to line up. If the bumper is wanting to go that way, just simply put another strap from here to here just to keep the bumper back this way. You can pull it all together however you need to for your repair. So go to Polyvance's website. You'll see videos, training videos of the bumper bag, the rollers, the pliers, and they have a lot of other educational videos on their website. And again, like I said, they also have reps that go out through the United States. They'll be more than happy to come out and demonstrate their products for you. Thanks again for watching. I hope you get some value out of this, and it'll make your job much easier.